Today I'm going to show you a lovely flower bouquet which you can utilize on your dinner table using fresh fruit and vegetables. Today I'm going to use some of these vegetables which you see using a butternut squash which will be the flower vase for the bouquet. So what I've literally done is peeled it and cored all the seeds out using a scooper. Just using a cannular, I'm just going to give a quick incision here which basically divides the two parts of the butternut squash. What I'll do is I'm just going to give a little leaf kind of a pattern. Now to make that visible, what I'm going to do is just the background of the leaves, just going to take them out. And once you have carved the leaves using a peeler, you just tidy up all the ends. Take the tail off as well so that it sits. Using a scoop, we're just going to make a few balls there so that it just gives a pattern. Okay, so we're going to keep that on the side. If you see here, I have red cabbage. Just with the scissor, I'm just cutting the middle of those veins, and that will go all the way through the leaf. And just making sure that anything you carve or prepare, it goes in ice cold water. Okay, next I'm going to use spring onion. As you can see, I have taken the root out because we're going to use them for two different purposes. Okay, so for the root, what we'll do is just literally picking up a kitchen knife. We're making a few incisions in there, not all the way through, just leaving the root intact. Once it goes into ice water, it will just open up. For the leaf itself, what we'll be doing is bamboo skewers, large bamboo skewers, and we just put the bamboo skewer in the middle, creates a lovely stem for the flower. Now the second thing is asparagus. Take a peeler and nicely peel the bottom part of the asparagus just to get that vibrant green color. Next up, what we'll do is we'll take the purple carrot first. Just peeled, cut the bottom. Just at the bottom, you cut them into little triangle. And same as in the front, we just cut in such a way that it forms a triangle in the front as well. And as you can see, while we do that, it creates a form of a leaf. Now again, using a small knife, just create incision, and 4 or 5 this side, 4 or 5 each side. The side where we haven't done the incision, with a large kitchen knife, we'll just thinly slice it. So that creates a leaf kind of a pattern. Now I'm going to show you a couple of small flowers out of the carrots. Peel the carrot and using a lemon zester, just give a few markings. And starting from the bottom, holding the carrot all the way along in your hand, you just create a few petals. So I've created 5 petals here. Basically the base of the petals are created there, and literally you're just peeling them off, but not all the way to the end. And the last one, just put in the end, snap, and the little flower comes out. Okay, so we have some banana shallots here. Peel it without taking the top or the end off. And with a knife, again, as we did with the end of the spring onions, it's exactly the same, just cutting into segments without going all the way at the end. So as you can see, all the segments are there. What will happen is once you put them in the ice water, all the segments will actually open up to create a flower. So I'll show you a rose made out of courgette. What we do is we just take 5 segments out, and after that you just simply peel to create the outer layer of the flower, and simply peel the inside. So what we have is here is 4 petals outside and into just the middle there. And what we do is, again, using a small kitchen knife, we create petals in that form. So that's a little rose ready there. Okay, so I'm going to show you something with the cucumber. If you take one of the ends of the cucumber, around 2 inches in length there, if you just create patterns like that all along the sides of the cucumber. So that's quite easy. Just little incisions on both sides of the petals. So that's done. We get the first green layer peeled, and again, to give a little bit more detail in there, you leave that sitting on the chopping board. and very delicately just go inside and follow the same process again. Scoop the middle, and you can use one of the balls which came out of the butternut squash in the middle of the cucumber just to give a color contrast. Next up we have a leek here. It's quite small leek, so again cutting a finger length and cutting into, this time just twice, so once this way and once again halfway through. Just leave the first one out and the fold next one in, and you can follow that process as many layers as you like. Okay, so we're going to use mushroom essentially for its color. What we do is, where the stalk of the mushroom is, we just take the two ends off, and using the tip of the knife, all I'm doing is just pressing it in. So that creates a different pattern in our bouquet. When we put together, that will stand out. Now when we're doing the mushrooms and the tomatoes, just making sure that doesn't go in the water. You keep that on the side, because the drier it goes, the better it is. I've got a few red radish here, the baby small red radishes. Keeping the stem end at the bottom, the top end, you just take a scoop and take the top out, little sections out from the sides, and peeling them off to form petals. And as you can see, that's a little rose came out, and we're going to put that in the ice water again. Now I have a small plum tomato, so cutting into half lengthways and again lengthways into 4. And what you do is, between the skin and the flesh, you just slide your knife in the middle, not all the way through, keeping the end, and just open them up. And what that creates is a little small flower. Okay, now so we have a nice designer plate there, and just in the center of that, the flower vase goes in. Now if you see the red cabbage leaves which we cut before, I have put a little bit of a cocktail stick just at the end of it. Using that cocktail stick, what we're going to do is just at the bottom of it, going to stick that in. We have some trimming of leeks there while we made the flower, so just using that, again keeping in mind the color contrast. And with the red radish flower as well, as you can see, I've put a stick in there with the spring onion at the bottom, and again using the same center, it goes in the middle. Once all your pieces are ready, what we are going to do is start with the biggest of the flowers what you have, and use in the centerpiece. At the end, we just go with the smaller flowers, finishing the piece for the center of the table. It's a perfect way to decorate your table and to impress your guests.